Yeah.
W. What did you think of his performance, and do you see yourself rematching him down the line?
Me, put up a good fight. He knocked down a former three world champ. He knocked down a former world champ 3 times, and I don't see myself fighting Blair anytime soon right now. Maybe if it means something, if it's a meaningful fight in the future, for a title limiter of some sort, then yeah.
And you're like in a position in your career where, you're a couple steps away from, getting to those high levels, man. Do you
Yeah.
feel the pressure? How do you respond to that?
This is what I wanted my whole life. The fans, people, the public. This is all I wanted. And all those years of me grinding since I was 12 years old. Giving up my whole childhood, giving up so much, sacrificing so much for this moment right here. It feels amazing. And I'm gonna do everything I can to take full advantage of it. And I'm gonna keep going, grinding every day. Stay humble to myself. Stay humble to others, and just keep fighting from there.
And of course, when we think of fighting cities, we think of Oxnard, we think of, East LA, you're from Santa Ana.
Yeah.
Again, what does it mean for you to, put Santa Ana on the map?
It means great things, Santa Ana, people could say whatever they want, because if you go to Santa Ana, there's some rough parts of it, and then there's also like the diamond in the dirt of the hard workers there, of like me, an example of people are trying to make it out, or trying to put our city on the map. And it's a privilege to be from Santa Ana and putting it on the map, like I said.
And of course, you being Mexican American, there's a Mexican fan base already built in.
Yeah.
They're the biggest critics, but they could also be your largest supporters, man.
Yeah.
Feel to have that. What are you willing to do to win that over that crowd?
Yeah, just keep fighting, giving good performances, giving good exciting fights, giving good knockouts, and just repping where I come from hard, and I believe that's gonna open up a lot of doors.
Alexis, you said after that victory
Yes.
over Blair Clubs, you wanted bigger, better names. Is that
Yeah.
something in the works for October 29th?
I really hope so. I already had a former world champion turn me down, so it's kind of frustrating. Golden Boy is doing everything they can in their part to rise me up to stardom, but definitely that's what I want for my future. It's former world champions, or if not, someone that's gonna elevate my career.
How did you rate your last performance overall?
I would rate it like a C, and I graded a C because a lot of people don't know this. I tore my tendon my last fight in the second round. Also fractured my wrist, so I was in excruciating pain every time I would throw it. So I couldn't really let my hands go.
You think you could have stopped him?
I honestly think I could have stopped them. I hurt him with one hand multiple times. I feel like if I would have followed up with more shots, more combinations with my right hand, if it wasn't hurting, then I think I could have stopped him.
Are we talking about a top 15, top 10 contender? For
Yeah,
29?
top 15. That's what I'm looking for.
All right. Thank you.
Alexis,
Sí.
¿alguna vez te gustaría pelear con Duillo? Sí, yo sé que los dos son peleadores del mismo autor.
Sí.
¿Pero te gustaría esa pelea con Duillo?
Sí, me gustaría esa pelea, pero ahorita yo estoy en un camino, él está en otro camino, y yo creo que en el futuro sí vamos a pelear.
Acabas de mencionar en inglés lo orgulloso que te sientes de ser de una ciudad como Santana.
Sí.
Repítelos en español para que la gente sepa qué significa para ti eso, venir a un lugar que por muchos se ve no muy bueno,
Sí.
pero gente como tú pone el nombre alto de la ciudad.
Sí, hay muchas partes allí peligrosos en Santana porque hay muchos cholos, hay muchos, pues así, muchos gentes que no están ahí para buenas cosas. Y yo quiero ser un ejemplo de eso, que yo estoy peleando y yo estoy poniendo como my city on the map, como se dice. Y estoy muy orgulloso de ser de Santana y pelear para toda mi gente.
¿Alguna vez te invitaron a alguna ganga?
¿Mande?
¿Te invitaron alguna vez a alguna ganga ahí en Santana?
Pues varias veces, porque allí donde crecí hay muchos, pues, ¿cómo se dice? Gangs allí, y siempre quieren pelear, siempre quieren decir cosas, pero yo no puedo enfocarme en eso, nomás me puedo enfocar en mi carrera.
¿Tú quieres ser el primer campeón mundial nacido en Santana?
Eso es todo, si Dios quiere.
Alexis, can you repeat that in English about you being approached by gangs in Santa Ana and just
Yeah.
how you dealt with that?
Yeah, I mean, growing up in Santa Ana, there's a lot of gang activity going out there. My brother, Ronnie Rios, was actually running one day and he was mugged. Well, both my brothers in that case, both my brothers were mugged while they were running. So there's been both instances where they go for a run and just to get their cardio in, to get their road work in, for a day in our life of our lives. And they've been approached by gangsters to say like where they get hit up in the sense of like they tell them where you're from, and they're just running, they have hoodies on and whatever, and they pull out knives on them, on both of them. They say, give me your phone, give me whatever you have, and they had iPods at the time, so they give them to them.
Hey, Alexis, do you think any gang members are your fans?
I don't discriminate. But it'll be cool to have some,
Maybe not after this interview.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying, I mean, I personally wouldn't want to be in gangs. A lot of bad stuff happens when you're hanging around with those people, and a lot of those people aren't necessarily bad. They just hang out with the wrong crowd and the wrong people, and that's what happens. Put yourself in danger.
Do you think boxing pulled you out of that?
It definitely did. Me growing up, I came up from a broken home, a divorced parents, and from there, going into middle school, you kind of feel lost in a way that you don't know who to hang out with. You don't have a male figure growing up, and to me, I was hanging out with the wrong kids in school. I was hanging around with the cholillos, as they say, and I was hanging out with them, so I knew that I couldn't go out and then hang out with these guys late at night because I wouldn't get nowhere. And yeah, boxing definitely saved me.
Who was your idol when you were a kid? Boxing idol.
Boxing idol? Kind of cheesy. My brother, Ronnie Rios. Yeah, actually, he was my biggest role model growing up because he was 18 and I was about 12 years old at the time, and I was barely getting into boxing, and he just signed with Golden Boy Promotions. And like, I just wanted to be everywhere he went. I saw him making a lot of noise. He was considered one of the top prospects, and then I was like, man, I want to do this, because I started fighting and I started just gaining this love for the sport.
Where do you see yourself among the welterweight division?
I'm right there. I'm right in line. I feel that giving exciting fights, knocking out people, it's very frustrating because Golden Boy is doing everything they can in their part to give me the top fights. I recently had a former world champion turn me down, and it's very frustrating. But I know me giving out performances and putting whoever they put in front of me, knocking them out, it's going to open the doors for whoever it is, for a Keith Thurman, for a Danny Garcia, hell, to a Crawford, to a Errol Spence.
Alex, how would you rate the welterweights right now? If you can name the top five, how would your top five rate?
I would say Crawford, Spence, obviously the first two. After that, I really don't know. I don't really know who the top five is. I wouldn't really give an opinion who they are. It just, the fact is, I want to fight all of them. I want to get challenged. I want to challenge myself.
Based on your style, who do you think is the one that would give your style the most trouble?
I don't know. I have an aggressive style, but I could also adapt to a lot of styles. Like in sparring, I could adapt to so many styles. I could box, I could counterpunch. In fights, a lot of the guys typically run around. There's not really guys that come towards me to come forward on me. So for the most time, I'm the aggressor the whole fight. But if the challenge presents itself, I'll show my whole IQ in that ring.
And back to the topic of Santana.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of kids that you're inspired, and I'm sure they know that you're promoted by Golden Boy, you're Oscar. Can you tell us some stories maybe of how you've inspired some kids in your local community?
Yeah, I always try to give back as much as I possibly can to the community. I've done toy drives, I've done career days. I'm going to career day next month for my old intermediate high school, McFadden, and I'll be going back there giving just talks, and just it's cool that now that I could walk around Santa Ana and then people come up to me and they notice me. They notice my hard work. They notice what I've sacrificed, and I'm just making a name for myself, and it means the world to me.
Okay. Thank you guys. We're gonna pose them for photos real quick. And stand up right here. All right.